saat akhir kelas saya akan meminta untuk dikirimi ini scoring rubrik. Okay? So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the first group.
Jangan ceng nama dari yang lain lah. Kayaknya nggak bagus kedengaran. Mulai?
Okay.
Besok. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Hi everyone, good evening. How are you today? Good or not?
I'm very good. I'm so excited.
Oke. Kok saya deg-degan ya?
Janganlah.
Dar, susu aing belum habis, Dar. In here, I'm Darmanti with my friend Eka Nurfitasari and Sita Durmasna. We are going to discuss about basic essay. What is basic essay? Basic essay, as you progress through school, you will be required to write essay, and the further along in school you get, the more complex and demanding the essay will become. It's important that you learn early on how to write effective essays that communicate clearly and accomplish specific objectives. Okay, now we have 7 tips on writing an effective essay. The first is pick a topic. Second, prepare an outline or diagram of your ideas. Write your thesis statement. Write the body. Write the introduction. Write the conclusion and add and finishing touches. Okay, the first, pick a topic. You may have your topic assigned, or you may be given free rein to write on the subject of your choice. If you are given the topic, you should think about the type of paper that you want to produce. Should it be a general overview of the subject or a specific analysis? Now your focus, if necessary. If you have not been assigned a topic, you have a little more work to do. However, the opportunity also gives you the advantage to choose a subject that is interesting or relevant to you. First, define your purpose. Is your essay to inform or persuade? Once you have determined the purpose, you will need to do some research on topic that you find intriguing. Think about your life. What is it that interests you? Jot the subject down. Finally, evaluate your options. If your goal is to educate, choose a subject that you have already studied. If your goal is to persuade, choose a subject that you are passionate about. Whatever the mission of the essay, make sure that you are interested in your topic. And second is prepare an outline or diagram of your ideas. In order to write a successful essay, you must organize your thought by taking what already is in your head and putting it to the paper. You are able to see connection and link between ideas more clearly. This structure serves as a foundation for your paper. Use either an outline or diagram to jot down your ideas and organize them. To create a diagram, write your topic in the middle of your page. Draw 3 to 5 lines branching off from this topic and write down your main idea. At the end, to create an outline, write your topic on the top of the page. From there, begin to list your main idea, leaving space under each one. In this space, make sure to list other smaller ideas that relate to each main idea. Doing this will allow you to see connection and will help you to write a more organized essay. Number 3 is write your thesis statement. Now that you have chosen a topic and sorted your idea into relevant categories, you must create a thesis statement. Your thesis statement tells the readers the point of your essay. Look at your outline or diagram. What are the main ideas? Your thesis statement will have two parts. The first part states the topic, and the second part states the point of the essay. For instance, if you were writing about Bill Clinton and his impact on the United States, an appropriate thesis statement will be Bill Clinton has impacted the future of our country through his two consecutive terms as United States President. For another example of a thesis statement is this one for the winning characteristic. Scholarship essay during my high school career. I have exhibited several of the winning characteristics, including communication skill, leadership skill, and organization skill. Through my involvement in student government, National Honor Society, and a part job at Blair's department store. Number 4 is write the body. The body of your essay arguments explain or describe your topic. Its main idea that you wrote in your diagram or outline will become a separate section within the body of your essay. Each body paragraph will have the same basic structure. Begin by writing one of your main idea in the introductory sentence. Next, write each of your supporting idea in sentence format, but leave 3 or 4 lines in between each point to become back and give detailed example to back up your position. Fill in this space with relative information that will help link smaller ideas together. Number 4
Number 5.
is write the introduction. Now that you have developed your thesis and the overall body of your essay, you must write an introduction. The introduction should attract the reader's attention and show the focus on your essay. Begin with an attention grabber. You can use shocking information, dialogue, a story, word, or simple summary of your topic. Whichever angle you choose, make sure that it ties in with your thesis statement, which will be included as the last sentence of your introduction. And next, number 6 is write the conclusion. The conclusion bring closure of the topic and sums up your overall ideas while providing a final perspective on your topic. Your conclusion should consist of 3 or 5 strong sentences. Simple review your main points and provide reinforcement of your thesis. Okay, and the last is add the finishing touches. After writing your conclusion, you might think that you have completed your essay. Wrong. Before you consider this a finished work, you must pay attention to all small details. Check the order of your paragraph. Your strongest point should be the first and the last paragraph within the body, with the other falling in the middle. Also, make sure that your paragraph order makes sense. If your essay is describing a process, such as how to make a great chocolate cake, make sure that your paragraph falls in the correct order. Review the instruction for your essay. If applicable, many teachers and scholarship forms follow different formats, and you must double check instruction to ensure that your essay is in the desired format. Finally, review what you have written. Rewrite your paper and check to see if it makes sense. Make sure that sentence flow is smooth and add prasa to help connect thought or ideas. Check your essay for grammar and spelling mistakes. It is about 7 tips on writing an effective essay, and the next is 3 basic type of essay paper. My friend will go to explain to you.
Thank you, Mbak Darwati.
Cuma aku agak gemeteran soalnya dingin.
Iya, nggak apa-apa.
Saya
It's
menahan
okay.
dingin.
You did great.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, next Eka. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, Dar. Good night everyone. There have 2 basic type of easy paper. Number 1 is analytical, number 2 is expository, and number 3 is argumentative. Analytical means an analytical easy paper breaks down an idea or issue into its key components. It evaluates the issue or idea by presenting analysis of the breakdown and or component to the reader. And number 2 is expository. Also known as explanatory essays. Expository provide explanation of something. Number 3 is argumentative. There's type of essay, also known as persuasive essay, make a specific claim about the topic and then provide evidence and argument to support the claim. The claim set forth in argumentative or persuasive essay may be an opinion, an evaluation, an interpretation, cause-effect statement, or policy proposal. The purpose of argumentative essay is to convince or persuade the reader that a claim is valid. And then next is structure of an essay. I have three in this PPT. Number 1 is introduction. Essay has structure of introduction, main body, and conclusion. Number 1 is introduction. The introduction should cover 2 main themes. A. Any background information the writer will need to make sense of your essay. B. A roadmap of how you are going to answer the question. with your main points and basic conclusion, it is often easier to write the roadmap part of the introduction at the end when you know what all your main point will be. Number 2 is main body paragraph. The main body of your essay will be made up of several paragraphs. The number of paragraphs will depend on your word count and the complexity of your argument. Academic paragraphs are usually longer than expected. And as a general rule, one paragraph is 1 point. Number 3 is conclusion. After you have done your research and have an idea of your main argument, it is often worth writing a very simple draft conclusion before you write the main body of your essay. It is earlier to plan a journey if you know where you're going. This stop you going off on tangent. You can ask yourself, is this point relevant to my conclusion? If not, it's it. Remember Tom, that it is not written in blood or yet, and you can adjust the conclusion as necessary if your argument develops as you plan your essay, or change it completely if you uncover contradictory information in the course of any further reading that you do. The conclusion should bring everything together. It should never be a surprise. It should be clear from the argument of your main body what your conclusion is going to be. There should be no new evidence and therefore ramifications in your conclusion. And then I'm not right in PPT because it's from tutor. Thank you, Miss, to tell me about this. I'm not right in PPT, but I will read for it.
Okay.
Grammar that usually we use in basic easy. That is 3 grammar. Number 1 is paralysis. Means keeping part of sentence grammatically the same when they are in series or when they are joined with correlative conjunction. The example, now, I like to eat spaghetti, pizza, hamburger, and other junk food. In that verb, we snuck into mysterious house silently, slowly, and carefully. In adjective, she is so graceful, pretty, but greedy, and sometimes so haughty. And participle. My favorite hobbies are swimming, dancing, and playing games. And if this plus the example sentence is, she has a white hair, a cute face, and manner, and also an awesome voice. Number 2 is pronouns. The example is, where are Darwati and Tia? I haven't seen them all the day. If we use grammar in basic easy, use pronouns, it means take the place of or refer to nouns, other pronouns, or past. And the last number is grammar transitional expression. That means our word and phrase that point out the exact relation between one idea and another, one sentence and another. The example is
Why?
example, Lei always waiting Eka never tell us she always ignorant him. And the
Oke.
Yours, Mbak.
Thank you, Mbak Eka.
Ya. Oke, thank you. PPT-nya nggak kelihatan ya?
Hah?
Ya, Mbak, itu. Ada. Di sini nggak kelihatan. Okay, everyone. I want to share for parts of an essay. This is have to stick point. Among other introduction, statement, body, transition, conclusion, and citation. Number 1, introduction. The introduction leads your reader into the paper by introducing the topic. It shall begin with a hook that catches the reader's interest. The hook could be a quote, an analogy, a question, etc. After getting the reader's attention, the introduction shall give some background information on the topic. The ideas within the introduction should be general enough for the reader to understand the main claim and gradually become more specific to lead into the thesis statement. Number 2, thesis statement. The thesis statement solely states the main idea or argument of the essay, sets limits on the topic, and can indicate the organization of the essay. The thesis works as a roadmap for the entry essay, showing the reader what you have to say and which main point will ask to support your ideas. Number 3, body. The body of the essay supports the main point present in the thesis. Each point is developed by one or more paragraphs and supported with specific details. These details can include support from research and experience, depending on the assignment in addition to the support. The author's own analysis and discussion of the topic these ideas together and draws conclusions that support the thesis. Different part of the paragraph below for further information on within respective body paragraph. And number 4, transition. The transition connect paragraphs to each other and to the thesis. They are as within and between paragraphs to help the paper flow from one topic to the next. The transition can be one or two words, first, next, in addition, or one or two sentences that bring the reader to the next main point. Topic sentence of a paragraph often serves as a transition. Number 5 is conclusion. The conclusion brings together the main point of the essay. It refers back to the thesis statement and leaves reader with a final thought and sense of closure by resolving any ideas brought up in the essay. It may also address the implications of the arguments in the conclusion. The topic or ideas that were not developed in the paper should not be introduced. The last is citation. If your paper incorporates resources, be sure to give credit to each source using in-text citation and words, styles, or reference or bibliography page refer to the MLE format, EPA format, or Arabian format and on for help with this. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. There is a question. Is there anything you want to ask about the topic today? Mari kita lihat. Mbak Endang, is there any question, Mbak? Mbak Fitri?
Yang di belakang itu yang ada pertanyaan itu.
Aduh.
Nggak ada, Miss.
Okay. Mbak Fitri, is it clear?
Fitri kan nggak bisa speak up, Miss.
Oh, iya toh. Mbak Fitri. Mas Jim, Mbak Harningsi. Is there anything you want to ask, Mbak?
No, Miss.
Suara saya nyampe nggak, Mbak?
Nyampe, Miss, sampai ke hati saya.
Aduh, adem. Mas Jimmy, is there any question, Mas?
Yes. I have one question. It's about thesis statement. What is this thesis statement in essay? And where there should be thesis statement in an essay? Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay. Mbak Eka, do you hear the question?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
It's about thesis statement. Where there should be thesis statement in an essay.
Why should be there's a thesis statement in the essay, right?
Yes.
Itu cuma salah satu biasanya yang jadi basic isi aja, Mas. Kalau nulis tesis itu masih bentar. Itu masih dalam tahap-tahap basic isi, maksudnya masih permulaan gitu, masih basic aja kalau nulis isi. Jadi buat contoh aja itu.
It's a one of the part of the basic essay.
Yeah.
What is a thesis statement? Why my computer is stressed? Mas Jimmy?
Yes.
Do you get Mbak Eka point?
No.
So Mbak Eka said that a thesis statement is one of the part that could be included in the thesis in the basic essay.
Yes. That's why I'm asking where should there be a thesis statement in an essay?
Oh, where should be put?
Yes.
Oh, where, Mbak Eka? Do you know?
I don't exactly what is thesis statements. What the function of thesis statement in an essay?
What is the function of the thesis statement in the
Thesis
essay?
statement is one of sentence that express an idea of research paper or essay, Mas.
Subject, topic, or
It's just one sentence to express an idea, such an expository essay or argumentative essay kayak gitu. Gimana, Mas?
topic that express.
Kenapa, Mas?
So that statement is a main topic that expressed directly through the writing or explicitly expressed through one or two sentences. That's what you mean.
Gimana sih, Mas? Maksudnya, aduh.
Yeah, I didn't get your point, Mas.
Yeah.
No, I mean, what is thesis statement? What the function of thesis statement in an essay?
Mas, statement is one sentence that express an idea or research paper or essay. Jadi,
So based on your answer, it means that thesis statement used to describe a main topic directly or explicitly if you
Mhm.
say that thesis statement describe a main topic, so there will not be another writing or another verse. Well, there should be a thesis statement in an essay. That's my question.
Why thesis statement should be on the essay, Mbak? Pertanyaannya.
Gimana sih Mas maksudnya?
Uh,
Kok saya bingung juga.
Begini,
Enggak, maksudnya kan thesis
Oke.
statement itu apa? Kan, maksudnya kan mengungkapkan idenya ya, melalui satu atau dua kalimat.
Iya.
Jadi berarti thesis statement itu secara langsung disampaikan melalui satu atau dua kalimat melalui esai gitu maksudnya. So kenapa harus menulis conclusions, menulis menemukan ide? Kenapa nggak langsung ya udah conclusion aja gitu?
Oh kan
Jadi
itu ada
fungsi utama thesis statement itu apa gitu?
oke. Ini bagian siapa sih sebenarnya? Bagian saya.
Iya,
Maksudnya di part of essay dan itu ya. Dar mau jawab? Saya masih belum bisa menemukan bagaimana caranya jawab.
Oke, unit time.
Setiap tulisan karya ilmiah atau karangan itu mempunyai pernyataan tesis karena biasanya pernyataan tesis ini akan menjadi sebagai penanda atau untuk membina topik yang sesuai bagi tulisan karya ilmiah tersebut. Secara teori terdapat dua jenis pernyataan tesis jenis eksplisit atau tersirat dan jenis implisit secara tersurat. Nah, pernyataan tesis yang dinyatakan secara langsung itu melalui pernyataan tesis yang berbentuk oleh dua unsur yaitu subjek dan fokus. Nah, semua essay itu kan harus ditahap dari awal sampai akhir.
Is it? Do you get the Mbak?
That means that thesis statement is the key that we are looking for from the paragraph of message, right?
Gimana Mas Jimmy? Sorry, suaranya putus-putus.
So thesis statement is the key of the passage of the paragraph or text. Soalnya kan agak bingung kalau misalnya kita bikin essay nih, terus kita mencari ada satu topik gitu, terus tiba-tiba ada topik ada buktinya, terus ada conclusion sebagai idenya, terus kenapa harus ada thesis statement? Thesis statement itu apa? Fungsinya itu apa? Dan kenapa perlu digunakan? Tujuannya apa? Itu maksud saya.
Itu hanya untuk menguatkan statement tersebut gitu loh Mas.
Menguatkan esai.
Ya, contohnya, if you find yourself using general word like good, then you're not digging deep enough. For example, you can say European travel is a good way to spend your summer. It's not specific enough. Why is European travel good? Future example, the heart of your topic and focus on very specific area of European travel that you can realistically cover and support with solid evidence.
Berarti di sini
Menguatkan sesuatu statement gitu loh Mas.
dapat menguatkan sama nggak? Apakah itu kuncinya dari main topiknya atau apa? Di sini menguatkan maksudnya itu kunci dari main topiknya atau
Ya.
oh, gitu.
Lebih menjelaskan secara spesifik main idenya itu gitu.
Jadi maksudnya readernya lebih gampang menangkap gitu ya.
Ya.
Aduh. Oke, jadi saya mau beri conclusion sedikit. Jadi tesis statement itu benar kata Mbak Sitatun kalau in every karya writing, science writing ataupun writing academic writing itu memang disupport sama tesis statement. Tesis statement sendiri itu berupa sebuah kalimat yang menguatkan that protect or that help the whole essay to be more attractive to the readers, seperti itu. Jadi di thesis statement itu why it's very important karena dia adalah a statement that the reason why you should read this essay like that. So jadi kalau kita menulis esai ataupun membaca esai, you read something attractive, it will be the thesis statement. Seperti itu, Mbak, Mas dan Mbak.
So we can call thesis statement as the supporting details or supporting ideas.
Yes.
Okay.
Ada pertanyaan lain? Wah, seru nih kalau diskusi.
Kalau TTM lebih biasa.
Masa?
Potongan.
I'm so excited sebenarnya dengan TTM itu. Oke, Mbak sini ada pertanyaan? Mbak Yeni? Oh, Mas Ahmad is here. But I think he can't speak. Mbak Utin. Oh, Mbak Utin can speak too. Oke, kalau tidak ada pertanyaan, thank you so much for the first group, for your presentation, for your explanation. You did a great job. Yay, mari kita memberikan tepuk tangan. Actually, the basic essay about the essay, it will very useful for your academic apa ya, untuk kemampuan untuk mengukur kemampuan bahasa Inggris ataupun menulis kalian. Why I say like that? Because in one of the English tests like IELTS is test your writing, your academic writing. Nah, fungsi dari mempelajari basic essay ini itu akan sangat berfungsi jika kita we want to take an IELTS test. Seperti yang dijelaskan oleh Mbak Darwati, Mbak Eka, dan Mbak Atun, there will be some steps that you need to provide if you are going to write the academic writing or even an essay. Sebenarnya PPT saya tadi ini heboh banget gitu, tapi ya, it's not work. Okay, so let me make a brief summary about the explanation today. So, essay is a group of sentences which explain about one thing, which contains topic, introduction, body, and the conclusion. One thing it means like you have to choose one topic that you want to explain. If it is for example, if the command is about, you can write the topic of the essay secara bebas. It will be very good karena you can write down one thing that you really familiar with. Tapi kadang juga ada beberapa perintah menulis esai itu yang menentukan topiknya. Jadi sometimes it's really confusing if you are not familiar with the topic. So how to develop a good essay? The first one, you have to choose a provided topic. If it will sometimes sometimes the command will be provide some topics, so you can choose one topic that you like or you familiar with. It's very important to write it's very important. If you want to write an essay, you have to familiar with the topic, karena we don't want to write down the thing that will that make us stuck on it. Like if we write about for example about Alisan Mountain, tapi kita bahkan tidak tahu tentang Alisan Mountain itu apa, bahkan kita nggak pernah ke sana. So even you can read from the internet information or something like that. If you are not really familiar with that, don't try to write it. Uh, for the next tips is write down the information of the topic as many as you can. Jadi biasanya when I write an essay, sometimes I make so many papers. I provide so many papers. So my first draft is I write all of the information as many as I can. For example, I'm talking about Candi Borobudur. Candi Borobudur, like the location, everything, every information, everything that I know, I write just like the point. Jadi, jadi fokus kita tidak bakal tidak bakal diganggu nantinya ketika kita mau menulis esai secara lengkap, because we have already the information gitu. And the third one is the most important one, also write more about 5W plus 1H. Answer who, what, why, when, where, and how. Jadi misal kita udah punya topik, kita udah punya beberapa informasi. We have already those things. And the next step, you have to answer like what? What is Candi Borobudur, for example, and who and where is located. So you have to write down all of those question with the answer. So you have the information, and you also have the answer of those questions. And the fourth is narrow the topic of 5W plus 1H answer might help you. It means like karena jawaban dari 5W plus 1H itu is too big, or the information is too many, you can make the specific one. So you make the specific one. It means like you erase something that not really important to put on the essay, and something like that. And the fifth one is bring the similar idea together. Yang seperti dijelaskan kelompok tadi, kalau di writing essay itu kita mengumpulkan informasi, nanti kita gabungin sama-sama. Nah, menggunakan grammar yang aturan grammar yang sudah di-provide, misal menggunakan conjunction atau parallelism yang menyatukan antara satu kalimat dan kalimat yang lain gitu. Atau kita juga bisa write the outline or diagram to make it more clear about that, and then write a rough draft. It means a rough draft. It means like you have the whole paragraphs of the essay. Like you have already the introduction, you have the body, and you have the conclusion. Tapi itu masih rough draft. Jadi itu bukan the clear or the finish one. It's not. It's like the kasarnya aja gitu. Seperti itu. Why we have to talk about the grammar focus here? Because it's very important about the parallelism. Parallelism ini maksudnya when you combine one sentence with another sentence. Parallelism ini when you make a parallel atau make the same thing with another thing. For example, here I stay at home watching, eating, and sleeping during COVID-19 disease. Jadi maksudnya we have to parallel. Hal ini kita juga udah pelajari kayaknya minggu lalu about how to make the parallel everything that you write on your writing. Seperti sini yang paralel adalah watching, eating, dan sleeping. We cannot write down watching, eating, and to sleep because it's not parallel. Jadi you have to put ing and ing if you want to make it in one sentence. So jadinya paralel antara noun yang ini dan yang ini. For the next example, like she is good at playing badminton and at basketball. Nah, kita lihat di sini. If you are seeing this one is adalah kata kerjanya. Jadi is adalah kata kerjanya, good ini adalah kata objek atau komplementnya atau penjelasnya. Nah, sedangkan yang ini itu adalah penjelas tambahan juga. Nah, kenapa saya tulis di sini badminton dan basketball? Itu karena dia sama-sama noun. Gitu. Jadi paralel. Another example in your module, there is a lot of examples about the parallelism. For example, there will be an example about single word and then phrases. Jadi single word maksudnya kayak ini, watching, eating, and sleeping. Jadi dia cuma satu. Dan ada juga yang frase, kayak in the kitchen and in the bedroom. Bedanya word, phrase, clause, dan sentence. Jadi urutan dari, saya mau melenceng sedikit ya. Jadi urutan dari lingkaran terkecil sebuah kalimat itu kan kata. Dari kata membentuk frase. Dari frase membentuk klausa. Dari klausa membentuk sentence. So, a word is like just one word. Like eating, watching is a word. It's called word. And it becomes, a word becomes phrase, praise. It means like in the kitchen, because it's not only one word. There is a preposition there. There is in, there is article the, and there is a kitchen as a noun. Jadi itu udah 3 bagian. Tapi dia juga bukan sebagai kalimat karena cuman preposisi dan artikel yang menemani kata tersebut. Maka itu disebut frase. Nah, yang ketiga yaitu klausa or clause. Clause ini hampir berteman dengan sentence. Tapi kita kembali lagi, klausa itu ada yang bisa berdiri sendiri dan ada klausa yang it cannot be stand alone. Jadi there will be one sentence to mendampingi gitu. Ya sama kayak perempuan gak bisa berdiri sendiri kayak gitu. Jadi klausa. Jadi after praise it becomes a clause. A clause is gabungan dari beberapa frase yang berubah menjadi klausa. Klausa sendiri itu bisa dikatakan sebagai klausa kalau dia memiliki subjek dan predikat. Subjek dan predikat maksudnya subjek I, you, they, we, he, she, it atau nama orang, or predicate will be Miss R, or you can use a verb. Jadi itu sudah bisa dinamakan clause. Tapi clause ada yang bisa menjadi sentence langsung, ada juga clause yang tidak bisa langsung dikatakan sebagai sentence atau sebagai kalimat. Di mana klausa yang bisa kita anggap sebagai sebuah kalimat adalah independent clause. Independent clause it means they don't dia nggak perlu kalimat yang lain untuk menjadikan dia sebagai sebuah kalimat. For example, I am waiting a bus. Itu adalah bisa dikatakan sebagai sebuah klausa, bisa juga dikatakan sebagai kalimat. But klausa yang lain, while the bus, I am waiting a bus while you are coming. For example. Jadi while you are coming-nya itu yang disebut sebagai klausa yang nggak bisa langsung menjadi sebuah sentence. Jadi karena dia adalah independent clause atau klausa yang tidak bisa berdiri sendiri. Seperti itu. Okay, back to the topic about the parallelism. Jadi pokoknya how you combine your words become paralel atau setuju dengan satu sama yang lain gitu kan. Ada pertanyaan tentang paralel? I think no, because the first group already explained and I explain more. And next, it's about the how to write the open composition. How to write the open composition means wait. It means like how you write your essay, how you start your essay. How you collect your ideas. For first, you have to define your purpose. You have to define your purpose. It means that apa sih tujuan kalian menulis essay tersebut? The first thing that you write down the essay, you want to everybody to read it. So make sure that your writing it's interesting. Jadi kalian tulisan kalian bisa dibaca atau maksudnya tertarik untuk dibaca. And the second one is brainstorm subject of interest. Nah, yang ini maksud penjelasan saya yang tadi artinya brainstorm itu artinya kelola lagi subjek yang akan kalian tulis seperti itu. Evaluate each potential topic. For example, like topik topik-topik yang lain yang kalian mau tuliskan. Terus yang keempat, organize your idea and draw the outline. And the fifth one is very important, draw an outline. Karena step dari menulis essay itu we cannot start the writing only just start the writing, write down the topic and then start writing. You cannot ever do that because writing an essay you have to more idea, you have to more everything. So like you have to have an outline. Jadi kita nggak bisa menulis essay itu langsung menulis saja gitu, nggak bisa. Jadi we have to prepare everything to write an essay. Makanya menulis essay itu ada lomba-lombanya juga. Karena menulis essay itu ya bisa dibilang gampang-gampang susah. Every people will have a different ideas about something that you want to explain. Jadi makanya ada lomba penulisan essay karena tertariknya essay tersebut itu kadang juga dilihat dari bagaimana orang tersebut mengolah informasi-informasi yang ada begitu. Nah, about the writing open composition, grammar fokusnya di sini ada pronouns seperti yang udah dijelasin sama kelompok sebelumnya. Jadi pronoun itu refers to noun, other pronouns dan juga frase or phrase. For example, the student collect their assignment on time. What this mean? Pronoun refers to noun, pronouns, other pronouns and phrase. It means like di sini ada the students. The studentsnya jamak. If you cannot write down here it assignment or his assignment. Kenapa? Karena artinya dia nggak reverse sama pronoun yang ada. Karena pronounnya ini jamak, that's why you should put their here. Karena kecuali dia the student tanpa s, mungkin kita bisa menulis he or she seperti itu. Kayak contoh kedua, everyone stays at home if he or she wants to feel safe. Nah, kenapa everyone itu kan kayak semua orang gitu kan? Setiap orang. Tapi karena kembali ke rules yang pernah kita pelajari, kalau semua kata yang dimulai dengan kata every itu state with a single rules. Jadi dia selalu single. Maka harus menggunakan he atau she. And the other example, like the government has announced its new rules. It means the government itu juga adalah salah satu kata yang dia selalu berdiri sebagai singular noun. Jadi makanya harus menggunakan its. Ada beberapa kata yang bisa singular seperti kelas, college, committee, company, family. Ya, makanya kadang orang bilang my family is. Padahal kan my family itu kan ada orang tua, ada kakak atau adik. Kok nggak pakai are? Karena dia sudah konsisten dengan singular. Faculty, flock, government, group, jury, panel, school, society, team, and tribe. Oh, why not activity? Okay. The third one is how you close the composition. How you close the composition, it means like bagaimana kalian menulis close composition itu artinya something that you want to write but the title or the topic is already there. Jadi misal topiknya sudah dituliskan atau sudah wajibkan bilang topiknya harus seperti itu. Jadi yang pertama itu understand the question and read it more than once. Jadi jawab pertanyaannya dan baca melebihi dari satu kali. Biasanya kan kalau kita mau menulis esai itu ada pertanyaan gitu. Yang kedua, organize the idea in a piece of paper, use a diagram, organize the idea. Ya sama seperti yang tadi, mengumpulkan informasi, menuliskan di pertanyaan 5W+1H dan something like that. Yang ketiga, write adequate information for a major topic. Use vocabulary that you familiar with. Ya, ini juga sangat penting karena yang namanya vocabulary itu one vocabulary will have a lot of meaning. Jadi if you are not familiar with that vocabulary, please don't use it. You can use another vocabulary that you familiar with. Familiar maksudnya tahu arti yang cocok dengan konteks tersebut, seperti itu. Yang kelima, restate the question with your own words. Jadi karena kan di dalam menulis esai itu kadang ada pertanyaan. Nah, you can restate the question with your own words. Dan yang keenam, spend 3 to 5 minutes at the end to recheck your mistakes. Jadi setelah menuliskan semua esainya, jangan lupa untuk mengecek kembali apakah mungkin ada salah tulisan atau salah grammar yang mungkin kita baru dapat pas dibaca kembali. Pokoknya it's very important before you send, before you submit, you have to recheck all of the punctuation, maybe titik komanya atau yang lainnya. Nah, untuk close composition kita bisa fokus sama transitional expression. Transitional expression itu gimana cara kita how to words that is used to connect one idea to another idea. Jadi maksudnya gimana caranya mengkonekkan satu ide ke ide yang lain. For example, I want to join the class. However, I had an important thing to do. Nah, kalau misal I want to join the class, I had an important thing to do. We don't know if we don't put the transitional expression di sini, kita nggak tahu kalau ternyata oh, sayangnya saya ternyata ada penjelasannya tentang an important thing to do-nya itu gitu. Contoh yang lain, as a result, we have to keep our hand clean. Seperti itu. Atau I ran home but I was late. Jadi pokoknya how you combine your one idea to another idea using those words. Nah, di dalam transitional expression ini itu ada banyak macam expression yang bisa digunakan. Ada tergantung tujuannya. Itu ada di modul halaman 4. Semuanya udah ada modul kan? Udah ada ya. Ya,
Film Miss
enggak semua ya?
itu belum ada.
Oh, really?
Ya.
Kalau gitu nanti aku akan insert the transitional expression di ini. PPT-nya nanti saya akan upload di Instagram. Di Instagram, di Facebook. Nah, is there anything you want to ask about everything? About after my explanation, maybe there is some additional information you want to ask?
I would like to ask this.
Okay, please.
Because after hearing so many things, it can leave a pile up. I just have one question that comes to my mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
What I have learned so far that the topic sentence of the text or the paragraph, we can define it in the first sentence of or at the last sentences
Yeah.
of the text.
Yes.
And if the topic sentence in the first sentence of the first paragraph, why there should be a conclusion? What conclusion used for?
Oh, yeah, that's very that's very good question, Mas. Jadi, as we know that misal dalam belajar bahasa Indonesia, rules dalam belajar bahasa Indonesia, jika kita mau mencari main idea, misalkan biasanya itu ada pertanyaan apa main idea dari itu, dan rulesnya itu biasanya ada di kalimat pertama sebuah paragraf ataupun ada di akhir kalimat. Jadi it doesn't always appear in the first paragraph. Sometimes it appears in the first paragraph, dan kebanyakan sih emang dalam esai itu the main topic will be in the first paragraph, and then the explanation will be the next paragraph, but the conclusion will conclude all of those things at the end. So that's why the rules of checking or the main idea or the main topic of the paragraph of the essay itu biasanya you can found it on the first paragraph and also at the last paragraph. That's why conclusion is very important too. Gitu, Mas.
Rada kurang paham.
Gini.
Konklusinya sebenarnya buat apa?
Oh,
konklusi berarti kan sebuah ringkasan dari whole text. Berarti itu main idea secara umum.
Iya.
So, kenapa harus ada main idea lagi?
Main idea itu misalkan if you are reading an essay, misal jika in a reading session, then we have to find a main idea, or even we have to read. We don't have time to read the whole the whole paragraph of the essay. Nah, the main topic atau inti dari sebuah essay itu ada di kalimat pertama sebuah esai, dan juga ada di kalimat terakhir sebuah esai, dan itu rulesnya. Makanya kenapa conclusion itu wajib, atau kenapa mesti ada conclusion sih, padahal kan main topiknya udah ada di pertama. Tapi kan main topik itu cuman menjelaskan about one thing gitu, Mas. Misal for example like let me see the example in the book. For example, about the public transportation in my city. In Indonesia, especially in a big city like Jakarta, public transportation system is not as good as a public transportation system abroad. Jadi dia cuman main topic atau main idenya itu cuman ada di satu paragraf. There will be more specific information setelahnya itu kan, that maybe you will need You will need that information. That's why the conclusion itu biasanya membahas tentang the whole sentence. Nah, makanya gimana biasanya itu pertanyaan dalam sebuah esai, main topiknya itu apa sih tipsnya itu biasanya kita akan menyuruh atau memberikan saran kepada orang itu untuk membaca kalimat pertama dan kalimat terakhir dari sebuah esai. Gitu. Kenapa di kalimat terakhir juga disebutkan dalam tips mencari main idea? Karena di kalimat terakhir ada conclusion. That's why conclusion should be input on the essay. Gitu.
Miss, kalau sederhananya gini nggak sih, Miss? Maksudnya kalau main idea itu topik yang penting dari paragraf itu, tapi kalau conclusion itu ringkasan dari paragraf itu.
Ya.
Bisa seperti itu kan ya?
Yes. Ya, itu lebih
Jadi
singkat.
kalau main idea
Lebih
itu kan
singkat.
cuma hal yang penting aja. Tapi
Ya.
kalau conclusion itu lebih penjelasan kepada
Satu esainya, ya.
Gitu loh Mas Cipai.
Gimana Mas?
Oke deh. Thank you.
Okay. Tambahan lagi ya. If you are reading the 4.20 modul itu di halaman 4.20 itu di terakhirnya ada conclusion. The government develops human resource, educate people and serve its people well. Qualified human resource will improve the government service. Nah, di topiknya tadi itu dia membahas tentang kalau public transportation di Indonesia itu kurang tidak begitu baik dengan abroad, dengan di luar negeri. Nah, kita tanpa membaca the whole paragraph, kita udah tahu kalau paragraf ini membahas tentang bagaimana cara pemerintah develop their public transportation. Karena di conclusion udah menjelaskan kalau pemerintah akan mengembangkan human resource, educate people, dan serve it people well. Jadi kayak dia sudah membahas tentang bagaimana sistem di Indonesia, kenapa bisa public transportation-nya itu tidak sebagus di luar negeri. Begitu. That's why conclusion is very important too, beside the main topic, the main idea in the first paragraph, the first sentence in the first paragraph. Jadi tambahan lagi, the important thing when you are writing an essay, the first paragraph, every paragraph, jadi setiap paragraf yang baru itu, yang pertama, kalimat pertama itu should be explain the whole paragraph until the end of the paragraph gitu. Jadi misal kalimat pembukanya itu membahas tentang kegunaan public transportation in Indonesia. So the others will be orang menggunakan public transportation untuk ke jalan, untuk ke kantor atau something like that. Jadi pokoknya topiknya itu ada di kalimat pertama, paragraf pertama. Makanya kita selalu membuat esai itu harus harus membuat poin-poin dulu. Jadi poin-poinnya itu kita bisa put on the first paragraph that you want to write. Itu. Is it clear?
Ya.
Ada pertanyaan lain? Maybe about the grammar rules, about the
Tadi grammar rules saya yang grammar transitional expression itu contoh kalimatnya udah tersebut.
Iya, udah benar.
Kalau saya bikin seperti ini lagi bener nggak nih?
Oke, coba baca.
The doll is so cute.
The
Never tell us it
doll
looks like Annabelle.
so cute. Terus?
Never tell us it looks
Never
like
less.
Annabelle.
It's look.
Never tell us kali maksudnya.
Iya.
Iya, never tell us.
Never tell us.
Iya,
It
tell us.
looks. Aduh. Jangan bawa hubungan rumah tangga kalian ke sini. Aku takut. It looks like Annabelle.
Yeah.
Nah, kan kalau transitional apa namanya? Expression itu ya tergantung dari meaningnya aja sih, Mbak. Tergantung dari konteks dari sebuah kalimat gitu. Dan itu it's great. Dan juga karena kita kebetulan tadi membahas tentang parallelism, jadi kan kita lihat di sini mbaknya menggunakan kata is dan look kata kerja bentuk pertama, jadi sama-sama paralel kata kerjanya gitu.
Jadi yang kalimat contoh pertama saya tadi juga benar, tapi ini the doll is so cute never tell us it looks like Annabelle juga betul.
Kenapa? Contoh kalimat yang baru ini?
Benar apa salah?
Gak kedengeran, Mbak.
Yang the doll is so cute never tell us it looks like Annabelle ini juga bisa.
Halo?
Halo. Halo, Bandung.
Aduh, kok gini? Suara saya ada nggak, Mbak? Oh, sorry. Tadi nggak kedengeran suaranya, Mbak. Kenapa, Mbak? Mbak Eka, sorry, ulang.
Jadi contoh saya yang Annabelle tadi juga bisa dipakai.
Iya, bisa.
Oke, thank you. Berarti Lay always waiting and can never tell us he always ignore him juga bener wis.
Ya, pokoknya bagaimana cara kita menghubungkan inti dari transitional expression itu, bagaimana cara kita menghubungkan menggunakan expression dengan tujuan tertentu antara satu ide dan ide yang lain.
Kalimatnya kalimatnya cocok gitu maksudnya.
Iya, konteks arti dari konteksnya itu. Kan di modul bagi yang punya modul itu udah ada beberapa transitional expression yang bisa digunakan untuk tujuan tertentu. Misal ada untuk menambah, to add, to compare, to concrete, to emphasize, to illustrate, something like that. Yang lain, saya butuh suara yang lain. Mbak Darwati, ada pertanyaan?
No, miss.
No, everything is clear. Okay, so maybe we will end the class early today karena we don't have anything to explain more. The activity, I will challenge you about this one. Do you agree or disagree with the following? Oh, sebelum menutup, mungkin saya mau mendengar speak up kalian. Do you agree or disagree with the following? Indonesia should be locked down now in order to reduce the number of COVID-19 cases. Menurut Mbak Eka dulu.
No. Tugas bukan sih, miss, bukan.
Tugas nanti akan jadi tugas esai, tapi sekarang aku mau dengar speakingnya aja. How you conduct your ideas about this
Saya
one?
rasa kalau bener-bener lockdown
Use English. About you, I just want to hear your idea. Don't think about your grammar. Don't think about.
Indonesia is not ready to do this really lockdown.
It should be locked down
For now,
for now.
not ready for this.
Enggak. Kenapa, Mbak Eka?
I think Indonesia not ready to really to lock down.
Hmm.
Of all country.
Why? Why you think like?
Tadi nggak usah dijelaskan nih.
Enggak, maksud aku cuma mau I want to hear your idea. I want to hear your idea about this case. This a very phenomenal case.
Ya itu kan barusan saya sudah bilang, Miss.
Oh,
Not ready for to do that, Miss.
ya alasannya. Okay, I need your reason why you say like that.
In English,
Yes. You if you have some vocabulary that you don't know to speak, you can use
saya
Indonesia.
nggak tahu kan pakai bahasa Indonesia aja nggak bisa. Karena
Try
saya
to speak in English.
it's not ready. Indonesia not ready for to do that because it's need a people that need food or that need something and economic politic that's Indonesia not ready for that. I don't believe that Indonesia ready for that.
Oh, for lockdown.
If really lockdown full country, then I think Indonesia not ready for that.
Oh, okay.
Yang benar-benar di lockdown maksudnya.
Iya. Like Wuhan kemarin kan, yang benar-benar lockdown gitu kan.
Yes.
Okay.
Kalau Indonesia benar-benar lockdown dari Sabang sampai Merauke, mungkin mereka bukan mati karena COVID, tapi mati karena kelaparan. Saya rasa bukan karena makanan juga sih, karena banyak kebutuhan. Sekarang Indonesia sekarang ini kan banyak yang pro dan kontra, maksudnya tentang pemerintah.
Yeah, yes. That's why I put this.
Pasti ada celah dari para oposisi itu untuk menjatuhkan untuk orang pada saat-saat seperti ini.
Yeah.
Karena pikiran orang-orang Indonesia itu kebanyakan ada yang licik gitu. Saat seperti ini bukan saat-saat yang tepat kita memikirkan politik. Some people gitu. Ya ada aja masih ada seperti ini.
Mbak Darwati, is there anything you want to add? Use English about the thing that I put about the COVID-19. What do you think? You agree with Miss Eka?
Of course.
Of course. So, do you think? Do you think if Indonesia government locked down if Indonesian government locked down the country, I think maybe they will help people to provide the food. Maybe I don't know. What do you think about that? Oke, saya minta siapa Mbak Darwati baik? Mbak Endang. Guys?
Yeah,
what do you think about this one? Indonesia should be locked down now in order to reduce the number of COVID-19 cases.
What? I think that it's maybe better to lock down.
Oh, so you have a different opinion about Mbak Eka dan Mbak Darwati. Because what? To minimize to reduce the number, right?
Yeah, to reduce the number of COVID.
So they have to lock down.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have more idea about that, Mbak? Do you have more information? Do you want to speak?
Oke,
thank you Mbak. Mbak Fitri nggak bisa ngomong ya tadi? Mbak Harningsi. Mbak Harningsi. Okay, Mbak, do you have something to tell us about your opinion about should be Indonesia lockdown right now to reduce the COVID-19 cases?
Say, economic factor.
Mm-hmm.
Indonesia people lack of health awareness.
Sorry.
Kurang sadar itu juga kesehatan juga menurut saya.
Oh, so Indonesian people didn't realize
Iya,
their
maksudnya orangnya kayak ngeyel gitu kan.
Hmm.
Taiwan kan benar-benar lockdown, nggak ini. Jadi
patut
saking
gitu.
ekonomi juga gitu.
They follow the rule. In Taiwan is follow the rule. Meanwhile in Indonesia no.
No, I think Indonesia is too big to
Oh, to be
kontrolnya
controlled. Hmm.
Iya, kurang disiplin juga. Intinya lah intinya susah nggak kontrolnya, soalnya terlalu luas. Kalau Taiwan hanya sejentik doang.
Iya, betul.
Tapi kan
I
orang
agree with that statement.
memang saat ini ya karena dikontrol Taiwan juga kan wilayahnya kecil. Kalau Indonesia,
Yeah, it's too big, too many islands.
iya. Kalau Jakarta doang mau di lockdown itu bisa. Soalnya sekarang Surabaya udah di lockdown.
Okay.
Surabaya itu udah nggak bisa keluar masuk Surabaya sekarang. Kecuali kamu punya KTP Surabaya dan benar-benar ada urusan ke Surabaya. Soalnya saudara saya di Surabaya semua.
Oh, that's a good improvement, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Hanengsi. Mas Jimmy, what do you think? Do you have idea already about this case, this question?
I think Indonesia still not ready with this lockdown because simply despite from the lockdown impact around the world, the airport
The what?
clearly can be seen that air pollution is much lesser despite the lockdown. But I think Indonesia, if it's not prepared, if it is not well prepared, there will be a riot or a dispute amongst our inhabitants. Indonesia has many with its inhabitants population over 200 million people, so there will be a riot, and despite the economic effects of coronavirus lockdown, but the government faced the dilemma. Besides the economic effects, but health recovery must be the number one priority.
Yes.
So I think it's not ready, and also the dilemma. But simply you can see in India, over 90 cities are locked down, but there is a riot everywhere around the cities. So it's very risky, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my opinion.
There will be 50-50 option.
A big riot will happen around.
But do you think if they do the lockdown, do you think the economy of Indonesia will be so damn low? It must be, yeah.
Because it doesn't affect Indonesian economy only, but
over the world.
Around the world. Yes, over the world. And like, for example, oil price down to the very staggering amount. And because simply that panic buying happen everywhere, not only in Indonesia but other countries who doesn't lock down their countries. So if it is locked down or not, I think it's still risky. Besides, you have to pay the attention of the health of the population, of the inhabitants, itself, but then the economic crisis is,
This,
I don't know, is getting worse day by
yeah,
day.
yeah,
It's a dilemma, and I hope everyone pray for the best for our
yes,
planet.
yeah. Honestly, it's very, very good, a bad thing in 2020 about this COVID-19.
Yes, and also
It's
the
very
virus
terrible
is,
thing.
it can kill it can
Yes.
kill somebody, one body
Uh,
in seconds, right?
yes, yes.
It's
Without,
very scary.
yeah. Sometimes we think that COVID-19 will have 14 days to be appear, but some people got the COVID-19 without any signal.
Virusnya itu kayak bisa berkembang gitu loh sekarang.
Yeah.
Bisa berevolusi. Jadi sekarang kalau kita kena itu kita nggak apa-apa gitu. Tapi kemarin tadi siang saya baru lihat berita bahwa seseorang yang terinfeksi corona ini hidup dan matinya itu tergantung saat pada hari ke-10 dia terinfeksi. Karena
Oh,
pada
really?
hari ke-10 terinfeksi itu dia mulai masuk ke paru-paru. Kalau kamu bisa melewati hari ke-10 itu dengan selamat berarti oke, you'll pass.
Oh,
Tapi
so
kalau nggak bisa, itu seperti kayak artis Jepang yang kemarin meninggal itu, dia meninggal juga di hari yang ke-10. Terus dan beberapa orang itu emang meninggalnya di
Di hari yang ke-10.
ke-10, yang saat infeksi itu mulai memasuki paru-paru.
it means like it means like if there's no flu, there's no cough, there's no fever, and it doesn't mean that
There's
you
no
are safe.
visible sign of this.
It's very scary.
Kayaknya sudah berevolusi gitu. Sekarang udah kita nggak apa-apa gitu. Tapi kalau kita udah kenapa itu berarti kita udah benar-benar parah gitu.
Oh, yeah, because this case is all over the world, and like every and the world become like so quiet. There is no, but the good things is I have read the news that the good things is the pollution that become less, right?
Ya,
Because
dan
the use of the cars, the use of the other
di
pollution.
Itali kan juga seperti itu, Miss. Sungai-sungai di Venice itu jadi bersih, bening, ikan-ikannya kelihatan gitu.
Wow.
Mengistirahatkan bumi dan mengurangi sedikit populasi manusia yang sangat
Yes. Mengurangi kenakalan tangan manusia.
seharusnya sih para koruptor kayak gitu aja yang dikasih virus corona ini.
Ya lambat.
Kasih aja orang yang terkena virus gitu masuk ke sel-sel mereka gitu. Wah. Iya.
Okay, Mas Jimmy, do you want to add more?
Dan dari saya itu if ada jikalau yang meninggal itu yang dead itu orang-orang jenius yang banyak berkontribusi
Oh iya,
sangat disayangkan.
Yang kayak dokter gitu kan?
Ya, yang saintis atau
Yes.
dari pandemi virus itu.
Because I think because they face the real one. Mungkin karena itunya, karena
Tapi di balik itu kita juga harus banyak bersyukur, Mas, bahwa banyak orang-orang baik yang keluar untuk menyumbangkan sedikit harta mereka dan saling bahu-membahu menghadapi musibah kali ini.
oh iya, karena adanya COVID-19 ininya.
Iya. Tapi yang bikin I'm really broken heart today is Ramayana harus
Yeah, PHK some a lot of employees. Why? Because the company didn't have enough money to pay them. Why?
Yeah.
It's also a pro and contra things. But yeah.
Makanya jadi mikir juga kalau di lockdown itu seperti itu loh sosnya. Masih banyak penduduk Indonesia itu yang masih mencari sumber nafkah mereka itu secara harian gitu.
Oh iya.
Tiba-tiba lockdown gitu kayak mereka mau makan apa gitu loh.
I got it.
Ya ntar yang
Ya.
terjadi malah kerusuhan, huru-hara,
Ya, penjarahan, takutnya kan
penjarahan. Iya.
Wow. I'm so sad to talk about this thing. Thank you, Mas Yumi. Mbak Tia. Mbak Sini. Mbak Sini, are you here with us? Do you have some more information about COVID-19 disease? Oh, kayaknya dia, he can speak. Mbak Yeni. Mbak Atun.
yes, miss.
Do you have some more information about this COVID-19 or you have what ideas? What is your ideas about this?
There are two choices to deal because of corona or deep throat starvation. Because Indonesia is a developing country, so Indonesia is not ready for lockdown.
Oh. Jadi dia nggak ready karena belum, Mbak? So you
Because Indonesia is developing country.
Oh, so the developing country didn't will not ready yet about the okay. Thank you, Mbak. So, because we have talked too much about these COVID-19 cases, so I hope this activity can help you to talk more, to write more about the COVID-19. So, I read once again, do you agree or disagree with the following? Indonesia should be locked down now in order to reduce the number of COVID-19 cases. Please use your specific reason and examples to support your answer. Jadi dan juga gunakan tips-tips yang tadi, how you write your essay. Essaynya you don't need to be long essay. It's you can use 250 until 300 words. The deadline will be next week. Seperti biasa, next week sebelum kelas, mungkin jam 8 malam, so I have time to read your essay before we start the class. Okay, guys? Do you get the point of this assignment?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. You have to thank to me because of me you have to read more about these cases because you have to read more to write down.
No, I think I didn't need to say thank you, miss. Saya udah bosan, miss. Assessment isinya.
Oh, kalau gitu kita ganti kata lain selain thank you dong. Okay, so and also please send your rubric scoring by picture or file. You can send me by email or by Facebook. It will be help you. It will be help me to be more objective to give a score.
Apa sih, miss?
Kenapa?
Rubrik scoring apa sih?
Rubrik scoring yang ada di yang aku upload di Facebook. Yang kalau yang siapa namanya? Yang presenter nggak perlu menulis rubrik scoring. Yang bukan non presenter.
Oh.
This one. Because you have to score your friend.
Okay.
So I can see.
Teman-teman, please ya. Sikap CTM nggak traktir lagi loh.
Aduh, mampus. Okay.
Basic terus yang di bawah table itu mau dikalkulasi ya skornya.
Oh, nggak usah, nanti aku yang kalkulasi.
Okay.
Terus yang di bawah itu kan ada teamwork. Jadi Mas bisa mungkin teman-teman mungkin bisa menilai how they divided their material, how they can explain. Yeah, it's up to you. You can give them a comment too. If anything you want to ask more, please ask me. And because we don't have anything to discuss more, so let's end our class for today. Thank you so much for your attention, and thank you so much for your discussion and everything. I hope we can meet very soon. I hope these cases will be membaik dengan cepatnya. Amin ya Allah. Thank you guys and see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
You have a nice sleep, Miss.
Have a nice sleep too.